Hey guys, welcome to another commentary done by Diggity on behalf of StarCastTV. Be sure to like and subscribe. I don't think I've ever said that actually on YouTube, so that's a first. Upper left-hand corner, we have none other than Royal starting as the orange Terran. Upper right-hand corner, we have Soma starting as the brown Zerg. So really, when you're talking about incredible players these days, these guys are the top rungs. Royal, both of these guys arguably top 3 in their respective races. This is going to be on Revolver, which is, I think, a very interesting map for this matchup in particular. Because you got the ramps, you've got kind of these, you got the internal alleyways and the external alleyways. We haven't seen this in a while, but you've got these bases up here, and kind of this rung, you can see where the ramps lead all the way around the exterior. So you can kind of go an exterior path, but also in the middle, you have these large bridges that also create kind of an interior pathway. So as far as medic marine groupings moving across the map, they have to be very, very careful, especially going across with mutalisks potentially in play. Hold position lurkers can be exciting. There's just a lot that can happen on a map like this. And I'm also curious to see whether we're going to see potentially that, you know what's weird? I saw JYJ on this channel do that initial build with the Valkyries, and it was like, I don't know when that was from, but it was a more recent replay. And then all of a sudden, that just became the build that Terran are doing. And just everybody was doing it. Incredible. Which I think is... Also, I'm curious if we're going to see the movement from Soma. I've seen kind of the discussion where it's, I'll call it 2.5 hatch. But basically, more movement towards an in-base third hatch. And kind of, I don't want to call it, I'm not sure where I want to draw the line on Crazy Zerg. Whether I want to say Crazy Zerg is just when you're going straight for Mutalisks and trying to skip lurkers altogether. I feel like the official Crazy Zerg style is more when you have that third base and you're just trying to rely on Mutalisks. Ignore all that altogether, though. Forget everything I'm saying about the meta, because we got a factory mid-map. We got a factory mid-map. So Barrack's going to be lifted up in that upper left-hand corner. I should pay attention to what's happening here with the refinery down. STV going to blockade the ramp as well. Just in time, so Soma trying, and this is going to be huge, whether he can break that edge and get the information. So that factory going to be up shortly. STV not able to blockade that drone. Drone's going to be able to cycle in, and as soon as it sees this refinery, that should provoke an immediate response. So factory will be up, 2 bases in play, spawning pool coming online for Soma, but now he knows he's already got that drone waiting to drop that sunken colony on the front. First vulture out, SCV's coming across the line. While I was talking about all that, I'm trying to think if Royal got any scouting information. Now he knows where to send that. Creep colony being built, SCV's going to attack that. Provide a little bit of additional bonus damage. Might even, that's the thing, this SCV can absorb hits as well. So yeah, it needs to get it off that sunken colony. So that sunken colony, so this is the thing, even with that sunken colony in play, they do have to create some blockade. Because it does, yeah. Wow, nice surround by Soma. Did drone get it? Yeah, drone officially gets the kill. Love it. However, this is still going to be a problem because this is such a wide territory to cover. The single sunken colony is not going to be sufficient, so the Zerglings are going to need to dive across, and this is going to pin Soma back, potentially. And actually, as I say that, he's moving those Zerglings across that northern route. The Vulture looks like he is going to be able to catch it. No speed upgrade as of yet. Looks like there's going to be a tech to layer. So the Vulture's going to be able to hunt those Zerglings down, wipe them out. In the meantime, with those Zerglings off the field, I think someone was hoping to sneak them out to maybe create some disruption to prevent this natural expansion from going up. But Royal's going to be able to get that natural expansion without too much trouble. Has map control at this stage, at least until Mutalisks are in play. So for all of that talk, I like the Spire being placed right there. So second creep colony being dropped to Spire to provide additional curvature. Drones again pulling off the line. Try to push these Vultures back. Do have them back in the corner. One drone down, one Zergling getting wiped out. Another surround. Battle drones, but it costs, it costs 2 drones for Soma. It's one thing I'm not sure if I saw exploited as much as it could have been. Just the fact that this natural expansion is so wide and Vultures just have so much room to do damage there. Royal making his way back towards Medic Marine. Second barracks coming online. He's floating that factory back. Let's see if that becomes part of a blockade for himself. He is going to have a rush to try to get some sort of anti-mutalisk. I expect an engineering bay somewhere or something. It looks like he's building an academy. Wow, is he going to have that engineering bay in time to deal with the mutalisks? We'll see. Soma dropping that second gas is moving out this drone very bravely to potentially... was this going to be scouting, or is this just grab a third? Looks like he's going to utilize it potentially to scout. No third Sutton colony as of yet. Natural expansion saturated there for Royal. Double barracks. There's the engineering bay. Academy being built. Spire is already up. Initial mutalisks being produced. I think this is what's incredible is despite all that harassment, these mutalisks are going to come out pretty close to the 630 mark, which I just find insane. Like, how do you manage that? Like, all that harassment that happened, but still you get your mutalisks out on time. I think that drone, after confirming that natural expansion, is just going to beeline. He's going to go ahead and plant the third base, third hatchery in the bottom right. So initial 5 mutalisks making the way out. The turret's not there yet. Let's see if Soma's going to be able to capitalize on it. If he makes it... No, he's just going to go for the natural expansion. Yeah, turret's not in play. 7 Marines there at the natural, but keep in mind, because of this build order, stim pack has been delayed, which is why you're not seeing any stim. There is that medic. So Soma just feasting now on SCVs. Turret finally finished, but there's going to... probably should be more turrets here in the background. Stim pack just now finishing, which will make work a little bit easier here on the front. However, that 6 mules joining the fray, one of them damaged heavily enough where it's getting wiped out. And now let's see if we potentially see the Crazy Zerg style. Get topical again. Which again, my arguments would be that it's officially when you're dropping sunken colonies in the background, skipping, basically using sunkens and mutalisks pure, and teching all the way to Hive, and just skipping everything involved with the Hydrosten period. Which is very, very powerful, and it's been a trouble for players to deal with. But anyway, point being, I'm going to ignore the cycle meta talk all the way to the beginning again. 8 mutalisks grouping up on the front, a factory trying to make it more difficult to target, but I think that's also making it more difficult to do the group repair on those turrets as well. That I like how this factory is being placed to defend those SCVs. It's making it more challenging, forcing more of the patrol damage. However, there are enough mutalisks where doing kind of that patrol spread damage is sufficient and fine to get the damage done. 7 mutalisks still remaining, and yeah, Soma just feasting at this natural expansion, really pummeling. He is not going to need to bother with troops, and actually might even be able to end it heads up with mutalisks alone at this stage. Does he have +1 weapons upgrading? +1 weapons is going to finish in not too long. Right now, Soma having trouble, or sorry, Royal having trouble just establish even turrets at this natural expansion, grouping up the medic marines over that corner. Soma abusing that high ground area in between. +1 weapons now kicking in. Well, okay, did I miss the timing? Just barely. Kicking in. Full control group of mutalisks, and honestly, the way things are looking, this could be game-ending amounts of mutalisks. Making their way out to the main, Marines coming piecemeal, and lining up where the glaives can just absolutely obliterate them down the line. The SimCity working against Cal here. Another mules did get wiped out, but you can just see how these Marines just, they get sneezed on and obliterated. So I'm going to regroup, move back around. That third gas is up. Plopping down. He is going to drop that Hydrosten in the bottom right. I don't know that he's going to need it, though. While Soma was out of that natural expansion briefly, additional missile turrets being planted. So Royal using every opportunity, but still more SCVs getting obliterated, more Marines getting wiped out. Soma putting on a Mutalisk clinic, moving up to the natural expansion, just does not care about these turrets. Armory trying to be built. The SCV that was building it getting wiped out. I think that was to hope to get a Valkyrie out. +1 weapons not too far from being finished, but now Royal in a pinch because 3 gas has been up for a while. Still a huge amount of Mutalisks out. Science vessels, yeah, forget about it. It's going to be a while. This has been production off just 2 barracks for an incredible period of time. The turrets just aren't sufficient Natural expansion just being completely evacuated now. So the early game Factory Gambit, Soma punching Royal for it, now grouping up on the Medic Marine midfield. Oof, loses 2 Mutalisks from some nice micro, but still picking away at this. And I think this is just a desperation attack from Royal, but I don't, yeah, out of just the 2 barracks, that plus a single Valkyrie, I do not believe is going to be sufficient. Maybe going to try to make a run bottom right. In the meantime, Soma re-engaging at the natural expansion, wiping out all the SCVs there. The Valkyrie coming back, but honestly, engaging this control group of Mutalisks, it wouldn't survive very long. Royal actually managing to get a threatening group of Medic Marines bottom right. I don't know how long that's going to last, though. There are some Hydralisks there at the natural. Looks like he's managed to be able to locate that group. The Valkyrie trying to get the spread damage, able to do so. Hydralisk Den just finishing Lurker Tech. I don't see... Okay, there are 2 Hydralisks here bottom right, so an egg can be dropped. That might be enough time to get a Nidus Canal down here as well. And now with all those Medic Marines out of position, well, let's see if someone makes a die. He's not even bothering sending anything bottom right. Just is going to defend it with those Hydralisks. Yeah, double egg to pin that back. No Nidus Canal. The Queen's Nest is here, as is the Hydralisk Den, so Soma does need to defend this. Desperately, Royal trying to work on the egg. The shells hitting the Marines in the face as what's left. Another Lurker going to join to buy more time, but an attack group of Zerglings and Mutalisks grouping up behind this. Pouncing, wiping everything out, and that is it. Yeah, Royal GG's immediately. Good attempt, but Soma's Mutalisk micro just punishing. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Thank you for listening.